So today at Winning Strength, we're going to go over the top steps to eating clean. I know this can be a very difficult challenge for some of you, so I'm going to show you how we attack this with clients and all of our tactical populations. So the first step is what we find that a lot of people have problems with the dieting is you need to have your food prepped already. And what does that mean? That means every morning when I get up a half an hour early to prep 3 or 4 of my meals for the day. It's a lot harder to cheat on your diet when you already have the food sitting right next to you the entire day. It's easy to go to a fast food restaurant or grab something quick at the gas station, but if you already have your Pyrex container sitting there full of food, it's a lot harder to cheat. The next step is to give yourself reasonable goals. So what I find is one of the best diets out there right now is the vertical diet. So if you don't know what that is, go look up Stan Efferding and the vertical diet. But by meaning reasonable goals, we're going to shift directions on that. What I'm saying is that for normal people that have eaten garbage their whole life, it's very, very hard to just flip and go 100 miles an hour the other way. What we have found is that if I give someone a cheat meal every 3 days for 30 days, then a cheat meal every 5 days for 30 days after that point, and then after that point you get one cheat meal every 7 days, that the diet gives you strategic points of success and goals. It's pretty easy not to have a cheat meal but once every 3 days. Well, after 30 days, once you go to every 5, you're going to start noticing that your body is not going to be able to withstand the cheat meals like it used to. Your gut biome is going to change. How you digest food is going to change. Because if you think about it, if we're eating 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a day, depending on our ability to gain muscle or want to lose weight, all those are different and dependent. The point being is that if I only have one cheat meal every 3 days, let's look at that real quick. If I'm eating 4 days a week, that's 4, 8, 12. So 11 out of 12 meals every 72 hours, I'm eating clean. Over 30 days, our stomachs are going to start to change, both in gut bacteria and how it digests food. Meaning that once I start eating a cheat meal every 3 days, my stomach's not going to feel so hot. Now I can move to the next step of every 5 days, giving myself another reasonable goal, and then going to every 7 days. So give yourself reasonable goals. So I find 3 for 30, 5 for 30, and then 7 from there on out leads you into a good diet process that's going to allow your body to adjust accordingly. There's a lot of different things that we can do to make our food taste better. We can add garlic. We should put salt in our food. So the salt myth of salt raising blood pressure and doing all these things has kind of been put to the wayside now. Okay? The point is that we need to have some salt, we need to have some garlic, we need to have peppers, we need to have all of these things that not only have other types of nutrients in them, but they also create a great taste to where we can hold on to our diet. So if you look at a lot of people's, when they go on diets, they go so extreme and so bland that they just crave other types of foods. Well, if you're eating foods that taste good, you're eating foods that you like, and you can put in the diet and make taste awesome, your body is going to stick with that. So what do I do with that? Well, one, I use grass-fed butter. Now, there are some good things about grass-fed butter. One is vitamin K. 2 is you have good dairy. Okay? There are some dairy products that I like even when losing weight that you're just going to have. Vitamin K in grass-fed butter is awesome because it allows you to utilize vitamin D correctly, which a lot of people don't know. The other thing that we can do to make food taste really good is adding salt with iodine. Did I spell that right? So check in the comments and let me know. But salt with iodine not only makes the food taste better, but iodine is going to keep your thyroid functioning correctly. A lot of us have iodine deficiencies, so you need to make sure that that is a huge component of your diet, especially when you start eating cleaner. So I'm going to give you a day in Chef Wenning's life. The first thing is to have structure. So I try to wake up every day at 6 a.m. And why I wake up that early is because what I do is it's food prep time. Okay, so I'm going to make the first 3 meals of my day right here. So how does that look? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cook 20 ounces of beef. Okay, now depending on what my taste is that day, I could use hamburger, I could use bison. Okay, most of the time I like hamburger better. I like the taste of it better, so I use it more, right? So we talked about making things taste good. Eat what you want within reason, right? So I pick beef because I think it tastes a little bit better than bison, but I can also use scallops and other things. I don't necessarily do that for breakfast though. Okay, now once I do this, I'm going to cook 20 ounces of beef and bison. I'm going to split this into 3 servings. So as you can see, each serving is not that much meat. You're talking around 6, 7, 8 ounces of beef per serving, something around that range. And then what I cook is about 3 cups of cooked rice. Okay, so I'm eating a cup of rice every meal. Now with that rice, I put about, I'd say 2 tablespoons of butter in it. That gives me some taste. And then I'll put 3 to 4 tablespoons of salt. So now this rice is really tasting good, okay? Now, your amount of rice that you're gonna eat is gonna have to be quite a bit less depending on how much muscle mass and how hard you train. So if you're an average guy or just starting to work out, you're not gonna need these many carbs, okay? But what you gotta remember is that Thor, right, the world's strongest man, he eats 20 pounds of rice uncooked every 5 days to withstand a 455-pound body. Now, the first thing I do with this is now I gotta start adding in those extra nutrients that we really need to have, okay? I eat about 6 baby carrots with these meals. So I'm eating the baby carrots for a little bit of fiber, all right? The other thing, they are slightly anti-estrogenic, meaning they're gonna help you hold a little bit less water. And they're also good for your skin and your eyes. So that's a big thing. The other thing that we wanna put in here is bell peppers. Now, the cool thing about bell peppers is, although they taste awesome mixed in with this rice and beef, they actually have more vitamin C than most fruits, which a lot of people don't know. These are packed full of antioxidants and great for vitamin C for boosting your immune system, which is such a huge deal right now. The next thing that I'll add is 1 orange in my diet in the morning. Now, the orange is for taste. I eat this first before I eat any of this meal. And what I find is that if I eat an orange right before I eat, it increases my appetite and makes me want to eat this great food more. Plus, my satiety stays higher. Notice I said an orange and not orange juice. The orange actually is going to have some fiber and some other stuff in it that's going to slow the digestion down and keep me from being as hungry. If I'm trying to gain weight, I switch from an orange to orange juice. The orange juice is just pure sugar, right? And it makes me want to eat more, but it's better than eating candy. So the point is that if I want to up my carbs and get bigger, I switch this to orange juice. If I'm trying to stay leaner, I might split this down to a half an orange or keep it an orange because it's the whole fruit. The next thing that you want to add is a few tablespoons of Greek yogurt each meal, if you can. Now this is easier if you're at home or if you have a fridge at work. I don't do this as much as I should, but I'm going to tell you should do it. One is because of the probiotics that are in the Greek yogurt. Not only are you getting protein with the Greek yogurt, but you're also getting these probiotics that are going to help digestion, okay? The next thing, and I think one of the most important things, especially if you don't like taking supplements, baby spinach. You want to try to eat some baby spinach, and the big reason is magnesium. Baby spinach has a ton of magnesium in it. It's going to help your brain, your insulin response. It's going to help your sleep and your muscles recover. And here's the big kicker. Magnesium is deficient out of 4 out of 5 people in the United States. Eating a decent amount of spinach every day is going to help that tremendously. Now, you can take this spinach and mix it with your meals. I just eat a little handful of it out of the fridge, basically raw, about 3 to 4 times a day. But baby spinach is also high in carotenoids and folic acid, which is going to be huge for your overall health. So in a general sense of the term, this is what I eat about 5 times a day when I'm trying to gain weight. If I want to drop my weight down, I just take this down to a little bit less per serving, and I always try to up my beef. So notice that when I'm trying to lean out, I increase my protein and drop my carbs. If I'm trying to gain weight and I want to put muscle mass on, I up the carbs and I drop down the protein just a little bit. The point is that carbohydrates is kind of what adjusts your weight, not necessarily eating more protein. So for you kids in high school and college that are thinking drinking a protein shake after you work out is going to help you build more muscle, you're actually false. You want to take in more carbohydrates to build in muscle, and that's going to actually make you bigger. So for those of you guys that are interested, we're going to throw a lot of these recipes, 10 to 15 of these, up on Patreon channel. Now, the big closing on this is 1, have your meals prepared. 2, eat clean. 3, remember that carbs dictate your size or your leanness. So change your carbohydrate intake depending on if you want to get bigger or you want to get leaner. The next big thing is don't forget that you need a lot of nutritious foods such as baby spinach, baby carrots, bell peppers, all these other things to make sure that your diet is well-rounded. The big thing is that we all talk about performance, and that's great. But if you can stay healthy longer, you're going to get bigger and you're going to get stronger.